Let's say we want to cut an opening in the wall to accommodate some double doors. I'll do that by drawing in a rectangle. Let's say that the double doors are 6 feet wide. The length of this rectangle doesn't matter. I just need it to penetrate through the wall where I want the opening to occur. I'll move this to the place where I want the opening to be. Now, if I want to cut this red spline with this brown one, I need to attach the brown one to the red one. I'll select the floor plan, go to the Modify panel, and click Attach. Then click on the brown spline, and it becomes red, because it's now part of the Floor Plan 1 object. It exists now as a sub-spline, and you can verify this on the spline sub-object level. There's 1 sub-spline, 2, 3. On the spline level, you have access to the Trim command. I'll click on these segments to trim them away, thus creating the opening in the wall. I'll turn off Trim and go back to object level. So it looks good in plan, but we're going to have a problem when we extrude this geometry. I'll apply the extrude modifier with an 8-foot height and look at the perspective viewport. You can see the problem already. There appear to be gaps in the wall here in the opening, and the wall is not capped. It's only visible from certain sides. We're getting these problems because of the way that we trimmed the segments. Let's go back into the top viewport and go back to the line object. The problem is centered right here in the opening, so I'll zoom in there. I'll go to the vertex level. Notice that these vertices show up with the box symbol, indicating that they're the first vertices in different sub-splines. I should really only have 1 of those in the entire object, but right now I see I have 3. That tells me right away that I have duplicate vertices in these locations. And you can verify that like this. I'll go to the selection rollout and select these vertices. I should have 2, right? Well, it says that I have 4. Go down here and weld them together with a small threshold, and you'll end up with just 2 vertices. You've got to do the same thing over here. That should have taken care of the problem. I'll go back to object level, go up to the extrude modifier, and switch back to perspective. Now the problem is fixed. So remember, whenever you trim some sub-splines, you then have to follow that up by welding the vertices together. To get a proper extrusion, you need to have a closed spline. You see, right now we have only 1 sub-spline in this object. That's why we're able to extrude it perfectly.